Speaking of a Danganronpa trigger happy Havoc, where an investigation is underfoot, it's a very, very weird one. I figured it would have to go to a double murder at some point, but yet again, they're dropping so many weird clues that it's hard to say who they're actually trying to paint in a suspicious light. It's hard to say who I think is painted in a suspicious light, and it's hard to say who we should actually be suspicious of. But so for now, I'm just gonna rely on the evidence, I think. Maybe it's just me, but I don't think it's gonna be as straightforward as it seems. Monokuma file number 3 has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. They appear to have been struck with a similar kind of weapon, was what it said. So they're not necessarily both done in with the hammers, but that's certainly what the killer wants us to believe at the moment. And the killer also seems to want us to believe that it happened in a particular order, which leads me to believe it did not happen in that order. There are hammers of all different sizes hanging on the wall, although some are more like mallets. Mallets? Could the Justice hammers have been designed using these as a model? Either way, all the hammers here have obviously seen a lot of use. They're all covered in debris and chalky stone powder. They look pretty clean from here. Wait. For some reason, this one hammer isn't dirty at all, and it's wet. Did someone wash it recently to get the paint off that was designed to make it look like one of the Justice hammers, surely? Spotless hammer has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Curious. I'm curious about this dolly thing also. It's got no blood on it. It's a dolly. It doesn't have a handle. I saw this in the art room before. I guess it's used to move statues around. It's kind of awkward, but if you bend down, it's not too hard to use. But wait. Wasn't this in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? I didn't notice that. I was looking for the dolly, but I totally didn't notice it at that time. And look at the wheel. There's a blood stain on it. So there's blood on the wheel of the dolly that was moved from the equipment room to the repository. What's the explanation for that? But initially it was here, like before anyone died. And of course we saw in the repository room there were like drag marks, like tire marks in the blood. Oh my god. What are the odds that Celeste mortally injured Hifumi, and he willingly kept quiet about it and moved himself up to the repository to obfuscate the case just because he's kind of into her? I don't want to throw too much shade to Hifumi, but that sounds exactly like something he would do. Anyway, repository doll is added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. There are many aspects to the incident this time. Too many, to be honest. Considering that, it may be good to look back on everything that's happened. Would you like my help? Sure, why not? I assume this won't give us like a Sakura's account. She'll just review everything that she thinks happened. But it'll help me know what the important stuff is, I guess. Yeah, let's look back on things. This morning, only 4 of us met up at the dining hall. Hina, Kyoko, you, and myself. We waited for the others, but nobody showed up, so we decided to go look for them. It was around 8 o'clock when we began our search, and soon after we split up, Kyoko disappeared. After that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room on the 3rd floor, then quickly came and got you and me. According to Celeste, she was attacked by a suspicious individual and lay unconscious for about an hour. In other words, she was attacked an hour before we found her. Meaning just after 7 o'clock. Based on the picture Celeste took, we discovered her attacker was dressed in a strange costume. It was Robo-Justice. It also became clear that this Robo-Justice had dragged Hifumi away. After meeting up with Toko and Byakuya, we began to searching for the costumed assailant. We found an injured Hifumi in the library on the 2nd floor. We took him down to the nurse's office on the 1st floor, then resumed our search. But not long after leaving the nurse's office... What's wrong? I saw a shadow, something moving around at the top of the stairs. Based on Celeste's claims, we went back up onto the 2nd floor where we split up and began searching. I thought that was very weird. Like there was something she didn't want us to see on the 2nd floor. Or, no, because she then sent us up the 3rd floor, was it? Then, right after that, Celeste screamed. This time she had apparently seen the suspect on the 3rd floor. Hearing our screams, we quickly made our way to the 3rd floor. Celeste, what's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared. And then... Huh? What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office. Yeah, she keeps leading us away from the 2nd floor, right? Weird. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back. At that point, we decided to split up into 2 groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office. Meanwhile, you, Byakuya, and Toko pursued the suspect up to the 3rd floor. And when we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi's corpse. Which is also when we heard the body discovery announcement play. I left Celeste and Hina alone and headed back to the 3rd floor to tell the others what happened. That's Makoto, sorry. I left Celeste and Hina alone and headed back to the 3rd floor to tell the others what had happened.
However...
But at that same time, we had discovered Taka's body in the equipment room, which means Hifumi and Taka's bodies were discovered right around the same time. Because I remember hearing the body discovery announcement play right after finding Taka. And that's when I showed up and told you and Byakuya that Hifumi had been killed, right? Then you, me, and Byakuya all headed back to the nurse's office. So it's not unthinkable that Celeste and Toko were somehow in on it together, I guess, if there was one on the bottom and one on the top messing with things. Leaving behind Toko, who had fainted. But as soon as we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who just arrived to tell us something very unusual. Ifumi's body had just disappeared. We hurried back to the nurse's office to discover that his corpse was, in fact, gone. Then we remembered we abandoned the unconscious Toko and rushed back to the equipment room. I'm glad you guys have a good memory, because my short-term memory would have gone kaput the second, 3 things had happened. I would have been like, did we find Toko after we killed Hifumi, or who killed Hifumi after the dolly was... This can't be happening. Are we all hallucinating this or something? This time, Toko's body had disappeared. So from there, we began our search for both of the missing bodies, and after some time, Celeste told us she'd found the bodies and we all headed to the repository. But crucially, even though they couldn't have known that we would check the repository, Makoto found it locked before Celeste did that. And there we discovered the 2 bodies that had apparently vanished. So one way or another, Celeste is incredibly sketchy at the moment. And that brings us up to now. Looking back, things have certainly been very active. If you want to look back at the case again, just let me know. I'm fine anytime. Thank you. As I suspected, that didn't actually give us a truth bullet, but it was just a nice little review.
So,
Hey, Makoto, I've been thinking about something. It's about the repository. Huh? What is it? After Hifumi and Taka's bodies disappeared, we split up to look around, right? I was really scared, so me and Sakura stuck together. You were here and you found it was locked also. Is that what you're going to say?
what?
And we came right to the repository to, look around. But when we got here, the repository was locked. We couldn't get inside. It was locked? I can't possibly have known that. And we came here as soon as the search started, so there's no way someone could have beat us here. So if that's true, then who locked it, and why is it unlocked now? I wonder the same thing. The door was locked when the search for the bodies began, but now it's wide open. There might be some secret lurking in there. But I'll probably have to leave this area to figure it out. I'm surprised that didn't get us a truth bullet. I guess we have to examine the door more thoroughly. His big cold body is laying on the floor. His really big body. Makoto. Modicum of tact, if you please. I mean, how on earth was the killer able to move someone so big? From the nurse's office to where he was discovered, to here to the repository. All the way from the first floor to the third, and all without anyone noticing it. But yeah, being that he's 300 pounds or so. 300, how heavy is he? They're saying you have to be pretty strong anyway, so it sounds like they want us to think Sakura. 342. How the hell? It's no good, I just don't get it. I can think about it later. For now, I have to finish investigating Hifumi himself. If I remember correctly, Hifumi's fatal injury was also a blow to the head. Probably from Justice Hammer 3, which was laying on the floor in the nurse's office. Wait, something's off about his body. Why am I getting this feeling? Something's different. The blood kind of pours down his face more? Is that what we're getting at? Rather than Taka, who's kind of pours down the back? Something about Hifumi's body in the nurse's office versus his body right now. Oh, that I didn't notice. It kind of looks like there's more blood on him than then, but that would make sense if he was struck again, I suppose. But no, I'm not noticing what it was. That's it, his glasses! When his body was in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. I didn't catch that at all. But now they're completely clean. Does that mean someone wiped his glasses off? Someone who wanted us to think that he could have seen Yasuhiro. Which basically means it wasn't Yasuhiro, which we might have guessed already from how obviously they tried to paint him in a suspicious light. Right, so someone wiped his glasses because they realized he wouldn't have been able to say, it was Yasuhiro, if he couldn't have seen Yasuhiro. They wanted us to be sure that his eyesight would have been at peak at the time he was dealt the fatal blow, such that he could call it was Yasuhiro. But the fact that his glasses were covered in blood means he probably didn't actually see Yasuhiro. So if someone told him to say it was Yasuhiro, and the only one I could think of who's been able to convince him to do stuff like that is Celeste. Again, it doesn't look great for her. Does that mean someone wiped his glasses off? But who would do that and why? Hifumi's glasses has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Taka, he'll never move again. According to the Monokuma file, Taka died from a blow to the head. We found Justice Hammer 4 near his body in the equipment room. Is that what was used to kill him? And there's a tarp laid out under his body. Did the killer use this to move Taka's body? I didn't even notice that, honestly. I was focused on the corpse more than what was under it. That way there wouldn't be any blood left behind while the body was moved. While the body was moved, I suppose. Blue tarp. Added. Right, well, let's check the door in this place. Oh, sorry, he's checking the door now. There's definitely a lock on the door, but it can only be locked from inside the repository. I don't see any way to lock it from in the art room. Oh, fascinating. Well, we know Hifumi was still alive when he was in the art room, and presumably he and Taka were the only two in here, right? I guess that means it was him. Once again, who could convince him to do something so ridiculous? And who was also the first one to go and find them? It looks very bad for Celeste. The door can only be locked from inside the repository, which makes me wonder, Hina and Sakura confirmed the door was locked after we started looking for the missing bodies, and so did you. And the door is designed so that it can only be locked from inside the repository. In other words, when Hina checked it, someone had already gone in the repository and locked the door? When they were done, they unlocked it and left, which is why it's unlocked now. Although it seems hard to imagine, Hifumi, even if he had promised to tell everyone Yasuhiro did it, he could have known how long he was going to be alive, I guess. But Hina claims that there's no way someone could have beaten them to the repository. So that certain someone... Repository door has been added. Right. Now let's leave for proper realness. I should probably look around here a little more. Never mind. Sorry. I've assumed we wouldn't have anything to gain. Oh, Byakuya's here, right. Hey, Byakuya! Hina and Sakura have this covered. Why don't you go investigate? Byakuya, do you think Hiro really did it? I don't see how anyone could think otherwise. When the attacks and murders and disappearances all happened, every one of us had an alibi. Is that true? I wonder. You're very confident about when the attacks and murders happened. When the last thing Hifumi said when he died? Yeah, he said Hiro's name.
In other words...
Then there was no room to suspect anyone else. Okay, but if he did do it, why would he hide his identity with that weird costume? Maybe he thought that no matter what happened, he'd be safe as long as his face was covered. Because he's the fool of the century, you see. I mean, he is kind of dumb. But do you really think that's enough to explain it? I feel like there's a clue hiding in there somewhere. And is that it? That's all that bothers you about the case? Well, no, there are a few other things. Like, why did the killer try to hide the bodies? They probably figured that if we couldn't find the bodies, we couldn't complete our investigation. But if that's the case, we found the bodies pretty easily, didn't we? Again, it comes back to the fact that the culprit was a moron. Is that really all there is to it? The other thing that bothers me is, why'd they bother killing two people?
What?
Because all the rule says is, if you can kill someone and get away with it, you graduate, right? So if you're the killer, your number one priority is not getting caught. But killing two people means more clues, more chances you'll get found out.
I see.
Hold on. Perhaps... I see. So that's what that means. Is everything okay?
That's enough.
Don't talk to me as if we're friends. Huh? What's with the attitude? But you have my appreciation. Thanks to you, I might have some fun with this after all. His mysterious words hung in the air as he left the repository. He talked as if he'd figured something out. But if he did, would it have killed him to tell me what it was? There's gotta be a clue around here somewhere. Maybe I should check somewhere else. There's some places I already know about. First the nurse's office, where Hifumi was found, then the equipment room where Taka was found. I'm most concerned about the equipment room at the moment. Drag marks in the blood and all. Of course, there could be other places important to the crime, but let's just check all the things that they want us to check out first. Such that if it really is just those two, tidy this up faster than a barefoot jackrabbit on a hot, greasy griddle in the middle of August. Hammer left here. Hey, Atoko. Jill, sorry. A tarp also left here. Was there another tarp before, though? This tarp. I feel like I've seen this number before, and just recently, too. There was more tarp here before, though, right? I can't tell if this is meant to be two tarps folded on, or like one that folds down a bunch. I think it's maybe meant to be two, and I could have sworn there were four before, in which case that means two are unaccounted for. Anyway, real marks in the blood. There's some kind of tire mark going through the pool of blood in the middle of the room. That reminds me about the dolly in the repository. There was blood on its tire. Could that blood have come from here? Which could mean that Taka's body was moved from the equipment room to the repository using the dolly. Both rooms are on the third floor, so that should definitely have been possible. Equipment room bloodstain added to the truth bullets. But even if the dolly was used to move Taka's body, what about Hifumi? Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office on the first floor. Even with a dolly, there's no way to get up to the third floor. He's got to have willingly done it himself, right? It's either that or Sakura carried him, because she's fairly, considerably hench. That's still a total mystery. Also, it occurs to me, the number of surviving students is currently 8, but after this trial will be 7. Assuming the accomplice does not also get executed, which we don't even have to find them out, so we might not. Meaning in the next area, it might be 2 people killed, bringing it down to 5, and in the final area, 2 people killed, bring it down to 3. So if there was a murderer... Oh no, well, there would be 4 people before the execution. So that would be extremely tense if we were trying to convince, just 2 other people to vote majority with us against the killer. Holy. Especially if one of them turns out to be... One of those 4 people is Jill, because she'll want to vote with Byakuya, who will almost definitely be the killer. That'll be tough. But anyway, I'm getting way too far ahead of myself, aren't I? Justice Hammer 4, the weapon that was used to kill Taka. The body was moved, but the murder weapon was just left here. It doesn't look very bloody either. Which I guess head wounds, if you hit someone forcibly enough, then the skin on your scalp is thin. So maybe it splits and you don't get much blood on the hammer, but then the blood starts pouring out. I guess that's possible. I was sleeping right here when the killer carried the body away. I'm super pissed I missed such an ultimately rare event. Okay, I'm allowed to leave the equipment room, so I guess that's all we wanted to check in there. Nurse's office we go. Still no word on Yasuhiro and Kyoko, though. Actually, I want to stop off at the second floor and see if I can track either one of them down. What if we, like, find them bound and gagged or something? That'll certainly be interesting. Celeste kept trying to keep us away from this floor, or so it felt. Someone did anyway. Some forces did. It felt like Celeste to me, but once again, I'm still not like if Celeste still feels like she could very easily be the spy, in which case you wouldn't think they would get rid of her in Trial 3. But then I still can't tell if they're trying to make us think the spy is Kyoko because it's actually Celeste, or if they're trying to make us think it's Kyoko because they would never actually outright tell us who the spy was, except they totally are going to. But I'm finding nothing in the classrooms on the second floor at the moment. But Hifumi was brought to the libraries. There's got to be a clue hanging around here. Is one of the hammers still here, perhaps? No, the hammer disappeared when we got here earlier, right? So that hammer is probably the one that got washed and re-hung up. Nothing in here either. Don't suppose the girls' locker room has been unlocked for the purposes of this trial. Maybe worth examining. No, I guess after last time, no one would risk using... Oh, but I guess there are more handbooks to steal, so someone might risk hiding something in the girls' locker room. Door to the girls' locker room. I have no way of unlocking it, so I couldn't go in if I wanted to. Okay, no, they haven't been unlocked for this particular case. I just can't shake the feeling that they must be somewhere on the second floor. Something must be, if they kept trying to lead us away from it. Was that locker always open? Oh no, it isn't open now. Dang, this locker sure is big. Alright, never mind. I think I'm barking up the wrong tree here. Let's just go where they told us. Hammer and a bloodstain left here, and Celeste. What are you investigating, Celeste? I am not investigating anything, precisely speaking. I am simply going around seeing if Hiro might be hiding somewhere. What about you? That's basically what I was doing. Oh, you know, I'm just checking this and that. The main thing on my mind is how someone could have moved Hifumi's body. How Hifumi was moved, eh? When it disappeared, you were supposed to be in the nurse's office, right?
Yes,
correct. Hina was not feeling well, so I stayed behind to look after her. But she seemed to be getting worse, so I took her to the bathroom. Oh. Like he thought she might throw up. And when he got back, the body was gone. He could not have been gone for more than a minute or two, though. Yeah, Hina said the same thing. So then the killer was able to get in and move Hifumi's body in that short amount of time?
Indeed.
It would seem so. To carry off someone as big as Hifumi in only a couple of minutes is... I can't think of it as anything less than impossible. So that's the count as added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. I don't feel like my idea that he got up and moved himself is outlandish. Well, it's any more outlandish than a lot of the other stuff that's happened in the game, I mean. Justice Hammer 3, the one that was used to kill Hifumi. Someone moved the body but left the weapon behind. Refrigerator. I wonder if there's anything to drink inside. After everything I've been through, I'm totally parched. Maybe just a quick peek. There's a bunch of blood packets in here. For blood transfusions, I guess? It doesn't help me, though. I'm not a vampire. Huh. That's interesting and new information, though. Blood packets, so it was used to fake his injury at some time, maybe? He didn't get added as a truth bullet, though. Your surveillance camera really doesn't matter right now. You know what? You're right. Oh, there's more? Oh, garbage can. Sorry. It's just a normal trash can. Wait, there's something inside. It's too small to be a handkerchief. It's a glasses cleaning cloth. And it's got some kind of cartoon character on it. Ah, but it's also covered in blood.
Oh.
Ah, did you find something? Yeah, there was a cleaning cloth in a trash can.
Huh?
A cleaning cloth. And it's all bloody. Whoever this belonged to must have used it to wipe up some blood. But who would need to do something like that? I haven't the slightest idea. What? But you know his glasses were wiped off and it's got his favorite anime character on it. Or one of them. Yeah, me either, but I think it might be important. Glasses cleaning cloth has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. At the very least, this is meant to make us think it was Hifumi. I mean, I guess they don't necessarily know that we would have investigated upstairs first and gotten that. No, we had to, didn't we? We had to get the Hifumi glasses thing before it would let us leave? I don't know. That was weird. Well, this is where you were. I've been looking for you. You have? I wanted to thank you for what you did about saying that... Why would they kill two people? Not that you meant to, but you ended up making this little game of ours very interesting indeed. You should go to Hero's room. Oh, and let me give you this. Meet in the dining hall. This is the note Hero wrote to get us all to meet up, right? You remember well. Well, the penmanship was pretty remarkable, so it left an impression.
It's all clear now.
Oh, sorry, that was Makoto who said that. Anyway, this makes it clear, right? This is a trap. What is? Things grow ever more exciting. What are you talking about? I've already repaid my debt. I don't owe you any more explanation. Goodbye. All right. He's trying to say he doubts that Yasuhiro actually had this good handwriting, so it was actually someone else's, and he found handwriting elsewhere that matches it or something? Or he's saying it is Yasuhiro's and he found handwriting elsewhere that doesn't match it. I don't know what he's talking about, though. Look at the truth bullets again. Was there any writing found anywhere? None that comes to my mind. Unless the writing on the hammers that says Justice Hammer or whatever. So we said to go to Hiro's room, but what's waiting for me there? A fine question. I'm also curious about Kyoko's room. As she still left the door unlocked from the alter ego stuff. No, I suppose we had a night in between then and now, so she would have locked it after that, probably. The bloody hell's Kyoko's room? It's right, the first one. I don't know how I missed that. This is Kyoko's room, but it doesn't have anything to do with the case. Okay, sorry. Yasuhiro's room. The door is unlocked? I guess I can go inside. Byakuya did say to go look. It might not be a great idea, but I'm gonna take the plunge. Oh wow, he's got all kinds of stuff on it. Where the hell? I mean, that warehouse is chock full of stuff, apparently. Oh, the security camera. Whoa, something weird is happening with the security camera. I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say that's a bug and it's not supposed to be doing that. Maybe the red blinking, but not the twitching that happens after, probably. This is Hiro's room. There's all kinds of weird stuff in here. Where'd he even get it all from? More importantly, he still hasn't turned up, which means he can't really complain if I don't get his permission to search his room, right? I mean, sure, you probably can. Start with the bathroom, I guess. I silently check the bathroom. There's nothing in here. It's pretty grungy, though. How does a bathroom even get this dirty? What's going on with the security camera? The surveillance camera. There's no point in worrying about it right now. I need to just forget about it. Okay. It's a normal bed, pretty much just like the one in my room. I think there's something in the cardboard box. It's blueprints for something, and some things made out of, it looks like cardboard, plastic, and plaster? Not the sort of thing that you could give you super strength to carry someone, I guess. Is this Robo Justice? And it's in Hiro's room. But wait, these blueprints, something about them bothers me. The handwriting's different than the... Okay, I see what Byakuya was getting at. Have the arms bend like this. Robo Justice blueprints added. So one way or the other, the handwriting doesn't match. I guess we can't really say what that means. It either means Yasuhiro didn't write the note, because we don't really know which one is his handwriting. He just said the meet me in the dining hall was his handwriting. But I think that's what they want us to be thinking right now, is that meet me in the dining hall is his actual handwriting. Hence, this stuff found here isn't actually his, but was planted in his room. Which probably means someone knocked him out at some point and yoinked his key, I guess. This is one of the monitors Monokuma appears on. Right. I don't know why I keep thinking that's gonna at some point be relevant. Let's boogie. Makoto! Big news! Big news! What's wrong? We found Kyoko! What? Is she okay? Where's she? Wait, I wasn't done! There's more big news! Robo Justice showed up too! Robo Justice? It's Hiro wearing the costume! Anyway, as soon as you can, head to the pool on the second floor. Right, okay. So Hiro's an accomplice, maybe unwillingly. Well, maybe he's an accomplice, maybe unwillingly. I think Hiro and Kyoko would turn up at the same time. Anyway, I have to head to the pool. I ran out to the second floor as fast as I could. Well, they turned up in the pool, did they? I was just there. Kyoko! And...
I mean...
Man, I've had the worst day.
Hiro? Hiro?
Oh, hey, Makoto.
Yeah, duh, where else would I be?
That's a good question.
Huh? What? Why do I look like this? Did someone come along and remodel me while I was sleeping? Was it the Illuminati?
Robo Justice finally made his appearance, huh? I guess Kyoko's the one that found him, so we want to talk to her next. Although I'm not curious what these bunch are thinking about. Apparently that ridiculous object is Hiro. I'd ask Kyoko for the details if I were you. I'm not gonna do it. She's a peasant. I am positive that is the suspicious individual who attacked me. Well, it's the same robot suit.
Right.
I found Hiro. He was jammed into the pool room locker. This one? How did I not notice? It looked like he was fast asleep, so I kicked him and woke him up.
Don't be mean.
I still can't believe you kicked me.
Okay, a few things of note. Celeste was like dead set against us ever looking around on the second floor for anyone. So, and Yasuhiro was in fact found here. And another, I only just noticed how rubbish the R and J are on this robot compared to how the rest of it looks very impressively done. We don't still happen to have that photograph, do we? We don't.
You could have been a little more gentle about it. Like, I don't know, caress my face or something.
That's creepy. Anyway. Anyway, Kyoko, where have you been all this time? You just disappeared all of a sudden without a trace.
Wow.
There was something I had to check up on. What do you mean? Never mind. I can't never mind.
Nothing.
Never mind.
Hey.
More importantly, she says that, but does she have any idea? Does she know people think she might be spying for the mastermind? First of all, Hiro, you need to explain to us why you're dressed like that.
I mean...
Oh, well, I mean, I have no idea. 1 second I was asleep, don't even know how that happened. Then I woke up and then I was here.
I don't care. Do something about that costume. It pains me just to look at you.
Well, I don't know what's up with this thing, but I can't actually get it off. A little help?
Why would you make something that you can't take off all by yourself?
You got it all wrong.
You've been to his room to see that, Celeste? Or did Byakuya tell you? Why do you think he made it?
I didn't make this stupid friggin' thing.
There's a clasp on the back that's keeping you from getting it off. It looks pretty sturdy. I don't think you can get it off on your own. We don't really have a choice. Let's help him. It took everyone's help, but slowly we were able to get Hero out of the suit. It took a few minutes, but eventually we got all the pieces off. Interesting, so it's difficult to get it on and off by oneself. Woo, free at last! Isn't it kind of weird how perfectly the suit fits, Hero?
So
More to the
then,
point, nobody but Hero would be able to wear that costume. Wait, what? Hold on a sec!
Honest.
Don't bother trying to act innocent. The blueprints were in your room as well. Oh, Celeste. Why must you act all the sketch all the time? So I think what we're trying to say is Celeste wrote the meet me in the dining hall note and forced Hero to write the... No. Maybe Celeste wrote it. I don't know. Point is, Celeste is being so incredibly weird this whole case so far. In other words, it is obvious to everyone that you made this costume. That's true. I saw the blueprints myself. Yeah, me too.
Could it be?
And it's obvious the one who put this costume on and went around attacking everyone was Hero. But if he couldn't get it off, by himself, why would he keep it off? Why would he design it that way? Because that would mean he would have to go to the class trial dressed as the person who is going around bonking people. Shall we tie him up and gag him?
Just the
Good idea! We don't want him killing anyone else! Tie me up! Hold on, guys. I think that's going a little far.
That's right.
He may be a suspect, but he deserves fair treatment. Yeah, I mean, attacking blueprints? I have no idea what you guys are talking about. You can't talk your way out of this! It's been decided. You killed them! What? Killed who? I have no idea what you're talking about. There must be a fake hero running around. You're the only one who can wear this costume. So who else could possibly be the costumed attacker? How do you know I'm the only one? Maybe you should try it on for yourself before you convict me. Fine. If you're gonna be a jerk about it, I will. Without missing a bit. A beat, you mean? Ina started putting on the Robo Justice costume.
See, look. See how loose it is? I mean, come on. I'm blind as a bat in here. Can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised you got anywhere in this thing.
I'm telling you, it wasn't me.
And not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
That's not a very nice thing to say.
Well, only if you actually designed it.
I mean, it's not like I made it. I just got caught up in the moment.
Well, either way.
What?
Now we know for sure, right?
Meaning what?
I mean, it seems pretty clear that nobody but Hero could have fit into this dumb costume.
Oh, she's got a band-aid on her leg. That's like the classic. This character is really well-meaning, but also a bit clumsy. Character design language. In a huff, Hina took the suit back off again. Well, now you're all out of excuses. No, so see, it's because you're a girl. If it was another guy, then... Makoto, go ahead. Well, I'm like 4'10". That's not fair. Okay. Against my will, I picked up the pieces off the floor and tried putting them on. It's no good. The arms are too long. There's no way I can wear this. See? I told you it was impossible! You are absolutely right. It seems this costume was made to fit Hiro's body exactly.
But
Then there's another costume. They must have one that looks the same, but fits them.
Honestly.
If you insist on this line of defense, then show us some evidence.
what the heck?
Evidence? You claim there is another suit, yes? Then you must find it and show it to us. Well, what the heck?
Just the
Who cares? Here's the only one without an alibi during this whole thing anyway. Which is how we know it was him. I mean, is that really true? I have no idea what's been happening. Could someone, tell me? Before we tell him Hifumi and Taka are dead, maybe we should ask him a few questions about where he was and see if he slips up and says, and that must be how Taka died, or whatever. Because then we would know if it was really... We would have some more evidence as to whether he actually knew what happened or not. But just his costume was added. But I guess Makoto's about to tell him. If you don't tell me what's going on, how am I supposed to understand? I think I figured out that someone's been killed, right? Hey, Makoto. Who was it? Well, 2 people were killed. Taka and Hifumi. What? 2 people? Why are you freaking out? You did it! I did not! Wait, hold on. If those 2 are the ones that were killed...
About that.
That's it! I know who did it!
So then.
You may as well tell us then. He's not gonna say her, right? Taka and Hifumi were fighting over Alter Ego, right? Which means Alter Ego and Orochihiro must have done it!
Correct.
I see. That's unfortunate. Huh? Unfortunate? Stop trying to trick us. Just admit that you did it, okay? I'm telling you, you got it all wrong.
Oh, so then.
I know. That note! No? Last night, someone slipped a weird note under my door, and here's what it said. I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. I found a hole maybe we can use to escape? Not we can maybe use to escape? Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m. Well, that sounds like Celeste. If this isn't her first language, that she might mess that up. And also her fondness for the rec room, and the fact that she ended up in the rec room. The last thing I remember is going to the rec room, and then for some reason I fell asleep.
Hey.
The real killer probably drugged me or something.
Just the worst.
Not a chance.
So...
No, hold on. He could be onto something. The nurse's office did have chemicals that could do that. Really? I told you someone's trying to set me up. A secret passage, a chance to escape? Someone wrote all that to trick me! Even if that's true, you must be one dumb fish to bite every piece of bait that floats in front of you. I mean, in fairness, I went to the dining hall receiving a note that said meet me in the dining hall and nothing else. Well, after being trapped here so long, even if you know it's a lie, you still gotta check, right? Yeah! They preyed on my desire to get out of here! They deceived me! I still don't buy it.
Don't be mean.
Well, you should buy it!
Just a second.
Okay, then show us that note. With pleasure. I have it right here in my, pocket.
No way.
Looks like I lost it. Yeah, sure. Please, you gotta believe me! I want her to fly! As I said before, if you want us to believe you, you must produce evidence. Can you show us the note? I have no particular issue with what you claim, but if you want us to believe you, give us a reason. What the heck? For serious! If Celeste is the killer, she's being a real dick and rubbing it in right now. I guess head to the rec room and have a look for it. Guess here's account has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Now then, shall we resume our investigation? There's no time to waste before the class trial begins. Why do we need to keep investigating? We already know who did it!
What the heck?
Why? Why did you kill them? Tell us, hero! No, it's like I said.
Just the worst.
Was it really to get the money Monokuma offered us? Yeah, that must be it. He must be totally broken, that's why! Wait, that's a false accusation! Someone help me! Just be thankful we haven't bound and gagged you. You have time to yell and carry on, you have time to search for your evidence, right? You're right! I need to look for the second suit in that note! Feet don't fail me now! I guess I better get back to guard duty. I was gonna ask Genocide Jack to switch with me, but if she and Sakura got into a fight, we'd have a catastrophe on our hands. Well, bye. One by one, everyone peeled away. Makoto, do you have a second? Huh? I want you to help me with the investigation. Sure! I kinda wanted to head to the rec room myself. I'm happy to tag along.
It would seem.
It looks like I got a late start on this one, so I need to make up some ground. Sure, I don't mind helping. But can you promise me something? Later, when we have time, will you tell me why you disappeared?
Why is that?
No. You reject me so simply.
Anyway.
I need your help. You don't mind, do you? I thought he might push back on that again a little, but okay. Okay.
Shall we go?
Thanks. Now then, shall we?
Hey,
So Makoto, first I'd like to examine the corpses. Examine the corpses? I can't believe I'm hearing that from a girl the same age as me.
correct.
Dead bodies don't lie, you know. They tell the truth far more easily than the living. Again, you don't know that she's the same age as you. You know nothing about her, really.
Hey,
Wouldn't you agree? How am I supposed to answer?
anyway.
We have to hurry, before the class trial begins again. Yeah, you're right. Okay then, show me where the bodies are. They're in the repository. I guess we should head that way for now. No heading to the rec room then. So weird that the staircases are never in the same place. Like, it's a staircase and then you go a bit elsewhere to find another staircase. I definitely had schools that were designed weirdly like that, but time is running out. I have to hurry to the repository. That makes it sound like there's something important in there that we're not going to get to see before the trial. We usually get about 16 truth bullets. How many have we got now? 13. So we got to be close to the end of this investigation. That was weird, the way he turned to look to the side like that. Oh, that was weird. Kyoko's shadow was there before she was. Hifumi and Taka. For a moment, Kyoko seemed to go rigid. But only for a moment.
So then,
Well then, let's get started. She crouched down next to Taka without hesitation and began poking and pawing the bodies.
I knew it.
The Monokuma file was right. They were killed using similar weapons. When did you receive the Monokuma file? Or just, I guess it got added to your book. Her movements were so smooth. She was so calm. Seeing how comfortable she was actually made me feel a little more comfortable. Makoto, I found something. You did? You remember the wristwatch Taka always wore in his left hand? I never saw it, but they kept talking about it. He did?
Whew.
Are you so oblivious to the people around you? Do you dislike other people that much? No, that's not it! Anyway, so you said he had a watch?
So then,
Take a look. It's broken. You can see the hands aren't moving, right? We're pulling a Last of Us here, that's when he was killed. I can't tell which way it's supposed to be up and down, but it looks like it's saying it was just after 6. It most likely broke when he had his encounter with his assailant. And if you notice, the hands are frozen just past 6 o'clock. So that would mean the watch was broken sometime just after 6.
that's right.
But last night, Taka's watch definitely wasn't broken. I wonder why they brought it up at all. Hey, you! How long were you gonna keep us waiting? Taka's irritated voice pierced the air as he stared pointedly at his wristwatch. It's almost 10 o'clock, you know that? Bedtime for all the little boys and girls! Well, we don't necessarily know it wasn't broken then, but he's suggesting it as much. But the only reason he would break it is to obfuscate the details of his own death, which would be ridiculous. Although, given I said it, Hifumi might have. So if it worked at 10 last night, it couldn't have been broken at 6 p.m., meaning it must have happened at 6 this morning. Right, even though we found Hifumi's body first. That's not to say, and the order of the hammers is weird. It's not to say that things happen necessarily in one particular order. But you can smash a wristwatch and then... Oh, well, I guess the glass isn't... But you can, like, tune a wristwatch, right? So you can smash it, you could tune it, turn it back to 6 a.m. and then smash it, right? Probably? Anyway.
However,
And that's not all. Look at Taka's left hand. Oh, same hand with the watch. He appears to be gripping something. You're right, there's something white in there. Is it the note to Yasuhiro?
Makoto,
Can you try and pry it out? Me?
because...
Rigor mortis has already set in. Boys are better suited to this kind of manual labor, right? I mean, does it take that much muscle to open someone's rigor mortis fingers? But also, you're bigger than Makoto. Okay. As much as I didn't want to, I grasped Tako's cold hand. The ice-cold hand was nearly enough to cause my heart to stop beating. After some effort, I was finally able to free the object from his tightly clenched fist. A piece of paper. Was that all he had in his hand? Yeah, that's it. Just a little scrap of paper. Doesn't seem like much of a clue, does it?
Is that right?
I wonder about that. Kyoko then turned to Hifumi's body.
So then...
Let's check Hifumi's body now. Perhaps he's left us a few clues of his own. Kyotako's scrap of paper has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. It looks like it was torn off just at the point where you would start being able to see words. The biggest problem I have right now is how the killer was able to move Hifumi's massive corpse. From the nurse's office where he was discovered to here, the repository, all the way from the first floor to the third, and all without anyone noticing it. I just can't see how that's possible. Further, it seems that Hifumi died from a blow to the head. He was most likely killed using Justice Hammer 3, which we found in the nurse's office, but... when we found his body in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered in blood. But now they're spotless. Does that mean someone wiped his glasses clean? But who would do that and why? Sorry, they wanted me to talk to Kyoko again. So, did you find anything? I did. More than I expected, to be honest. Look at this. A wad of paper.
That's right.
Hifumi had it hidden on him. Hidden?
Indeed.
He'd stuffed it in his pants, so I can only assume he'd hidden it on purpose, you see? In his pants? Wait, so you...
Why is that?
It was just his pants, not like his socks or something. I don't know what that means.
Hey,
Anyway, let's take a look at the paper. Go ahead, Makoto, open it up. When I think of how it was stuffed down his pants, it's like... it better be important, Hifumi, or I'll never forgive you for this. A note? This looks more like the handwriting that was on the blueprints. I think what they're trying to suggest is that Celeste, being that she's not a native Japanese speaker, would have had a harder time writing Japanese, which is why it looks kind of more squiggly. I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, and so I assume that's... I'm gonna guess that in Japanese there wasn't the grammatical error of I found a hole maybe we can use. I'm going to guess that that was thrown in as a clue for English speakers because you might not be thinking that they're technically writing in Japanese here, and Celeste is not from Japan. That's what I presume is going on here. It's just like what Yasuhiro said. A note? I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 a.m.
so...
That sounds very familiar. That's it! It's the same thing Hiro said! And he was telling us the truth!
However,
Although it's not exactly the same, is it? Last night someone slipped a weird note on my door, and here's what it said. I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m. Oh yeah, I forgot the time was different. The time is different. Hiro told us that his note said to meet at 1 a.m. But the notes they wrote to Hifumi asked him to meet at 6 a.m. Same time as the wristwatch ostensibly broke.
is that right?
Hold on. Just because Hifumi had the note doesn't mean it was meant for him. Huh?
So...
Part of it has been torn off, right? I think there's likely some meaning there. Is some meaning to part of it being ripped? Could you maybe explain it a little more? I think she's suggesting that Taka used to be holding onto it and then someone tried to take it out of his hand. Think carefully.
Hey.
Why would he have been clutching that scrap of paper so tightly? I have no idea.
So then...
What if it wasn't just a scrap of paper when he was holding it? What if it was something more important? And how would something important like that become a mere scrap of paper? That's what you need to answer. The note Hifumi had has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook.
Hey.
And while we're at it, I should tell you one other thing. The two victims this time definitely had their e-handbooks on them, so the handbooks have nothing to do with how the murders were carried out. Not that there was any reason to think they were connected to the killings in the first place. So you're saying I don't have to think about the handbooks this time,
Is
right?
that right?
If you didn't have to think about them at all, I wouldn't have gone out of my way to mention it. All I said was that they weren't used to help carry out the murders. There may come a point, however, where a handbook may play a role. A handbook may play a role? I don't think I understand. But if Kyoko thinks it's important, I better keep it in mind. The handbook has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook, just in saying that they weren't removed from the bodies. Each student has their own e-handbook, which also asks as a card key. The owner's name is displayed each time the handbook is booted up. It is believed that no handbooks were involved in carrying out the murders at this time. Fascinating. Yeah, figured that was about time. It's usually around 16 pieces of evidence they give us. That was a very zippy investigation. I don't think we've ever done one in just one episode, well, we've only had 3, and Chihiro's we did in one episode, so actually we've done the majority of them in just one episode, I guess. Anyway. So listen, I'm getting bored.
Are you excited?
Oh, that's
Are
new.
you pumped? It's time for the class trial to begin! Like the bright burst of fireworks, like the flash of a soul clashing with life and death. And so, with no further ado, everyone please meet at the usual spot. Make
You
your
better believe
way
it.
to the red door on the first floor of the school.
Yeah, we know where it is.
See you soon.
See ya, buddy.
It would seem.
It's unfortunate, but I suppose this is where our investigation comes to an end. You'll have to figure out the rest for yourself and come to the proper conclusion. Yeah, you're right. It seems like it is gonna be me.
Shall we go?
Well, we better get going. Okay. Let's do this. I'm quite interested in this one because I have a bunch of interesting solves I think I've solved, but I wonder how they're going to come into play. And I'm fairly confident not all of my theories have been correct. Some of them contradict each other even. But man, it looks like such a small room of people now. But yeah, this is us now. Damn. Everyone had heard Monokuma's proclamation and they were gathered by the red door. And as soon as we were all there... What? Hello! 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 He's multiplied? No, not multiplication. It just looks that way because I'm an illusion. I'm moving so fast, it only looks like I've multiplied. Can you guys tell which one of us is the real Monokuma? Well, you just said they were both you because you're moving so fast it looks like you multiplied. Can we just get on the elevator already?
Boy.
You're not playing along.
Stop talking.
We're not here to play with you. Okay, fine.
Hey.
And if everyone's here and ready to go, please board the pain train elevator. I'll see you guys down there.
Let's go.
Okay, man, shall we? Hold on! I'm not mentally prepared yet. You'll never be mentally prepared. You can't run away anymore, hero. You're gonna pay for your sins. I told you already, I didn't do it for serious. I get Hina's in a bad way, but she's being really accusational to him, considering there is a fair bit of evidence suggesting he didn't do it now. That reminds me, did you ever find the other costume or the note? Well, no, but how unfortunate. Then it would seem we have our culprit.
Hey,
This isn't the place to talk about it. Save your accusations for when we get to the courtroom.
That's right.
She's right. Let's get down there first, and the story can really begin. Yeah, good idea. That's right. I have to do it. I can't let whoever killed even me and Taka get away with it. For everyone's two still alive, and for the two that lost their lives. And for everyone who died before that. The one who killed even me and Taka. The one who killed two of our friends. The killers. Someone right here. Which we'll be digging into later! Next time, I mean. On Danganronpa, Petrographing Epic, just later. Because that is all for now. But the trials have to get more and more intense the fewer people we have. I'm fairly confident they didn't say that any accomplices get axed too. So we're losing a maximum of one more person this chapter, I think. Bringing us down to 7 total. Holy crap. That feels like it happened so fast. We're already at half capacity. But yeah, this is shaping up to be a really, really interesting case. I hope they don't handhold too much through the interesting bits. Because they've done a bit of that. The other two. Anyway, that kind of annoyed me. But anyway, the next video going up the channel is going to be some more Kingdom Hearts 2, which had a healthy dosage of wholesome moments and just utter agony for some silly reasons. But never mind that. That's all for now. Thank you so very much for coming around. Hopefully I'll see you around. Admiral's going to be out of here now. Peace! So busy all the time, and like barks orders and his disciples. And he's kind of like jovial and fun to be around sometimes. But he walks moving from the fly, and he's always carrying off to go to vacation, leaving his entire business to some random kid he met a day ago. He's a bit out there, but yeah, let's spend it out.